Hey everyone, so today's video is going to be when intros don't end up working out between pet rats. So I did want to put this warning in here. If you do not want to see rats fighting, then don't watch the video. This is for educational purposes only, and you'll see when I end up breaking up the fights. You can't force animals to get along, so even when you're doing introductions properly, sometimes it just doesn't work out. A lot of times it can be with intact males or even just some feisty females. So if you watched my last video, then you'll see that I did get a new rat, and this was Solana. She was an adorable little top-eared pearl merle rat, and she was just really dominant, and my girls were also really dominant, so it just ended up not working out. So I did want to post this video because I had a lot of people asking about it, and just wanted to let people know that sometimes it doesn't work out and what you need to look for when you are introducing them, and to prevent injuries. I do have a video on how to properly introduce rats, so I'll go ahead and post it below in the description. And if you've already watched it, then you'll know that one of the first steps after quarantining is introducing them on neutral ground. Here's all four of them in the bathtub together, and you have to really watch for body language because some of it's good, like here they're kind of grooming each other, they're not really paying attention to one another, but it goes bad really quick, so you want to make sure that you can get in there and grab them as fast as you can before anything gets too nasty. And as you can see here, she tries to dominate Uno, which isn't too bad, but then she gets into a little scuffle with Iona, and it was bad, so I had to break that one up. And as you can see, Uno's now missing. He decided he didn't want anything to do with her and kept jumping out of the cage. He's such a big scaredy cat, so I decided to hold on to him and just kind of let the girls work it out. So as I said earlier, some good signs to look for are the rats completely ignoring one another, them just acting like they have already been living with the new rat for a while. Also, if they start to groom themselves, that's definitely a good sign. It means that they're a little more relaxed. Also, the rats smelling each other's private area is pretty normal. It's kind of like dogs. They just kind of want to see what's going on and who this new rat is. Now, the downside to that is if they start to sniff each other, one rat might not like it because they are trying to be the dominant one. So some bad signs to look for are your rat puffing up or even turning red like Ingrid is here. When she's agitated with another rat, she kind of flushes pink, and Iona does it too, but you can't really see it as well. Some other signs are fear pooping, what the rat community calls it. So if they're really uncomfortable in a situation, they'll just go to the bathroom. But then again, keep in mind they are rats and they do poop a lot. Another thing to listen for is teeth chattering. Solana did that a lot during the intros. It's just kind of like a warning sign, or, I don't like this, leave me alone sign, or it can even be a dominant thing. Another thing to listen for is vocalization, and to keep in mind that some rats are more vocal than others. I had a rat who would squeak anytime you did something she didn't like pick her up. However, when rats do get in a squabble, a lot of times there's lots of screeching and squealing and squawking, and it sounds horrible. Sometimes it's just for show, and other times it's definitely squealing in pain and aggravation. Whenever her and Uno got into it, he would squeal and squeak so loud. I thought something for sure had always happened to him, but he was always fine in the end. However, Iona here rarely would squeal as much as Solana would when they would get an altercation, and Iona has a pretty nasty bite on her side. Also, keep in mind, like I said before, things change really quickly. Like right here, this is a really good sign. They had their butts against each other, they were grooming each other, not paying attention at all, and it looked really, really promising, and I was really excited, and then it turned bad really quickly. Another thing to look for is them boxing, when they both get up on their hind legs like this. This is when I tried introducing them in the cage, thinking maybe I would get a different outcome. But so here is Ingrid and Solana having a little boxing match. A lot of times they will stand really, really still, just teeth chattering at one another and kind of pawing at one another. This is some footage that I sped up when it got pretty boring and nothing really seemed to be happening. Even at times like this, you still want to make sure that you're keeping a close eye on them. Here is when Solana got really feisty and wanted to mount both Ingrid and Iona. And this is when they really got into a fight. So if you don't want to watch them fighting, then don't watch this part of the video. Another thing you can look for is something that the rat community calls power grooming, and is when a dominant rat wants to forcibly groom another rat, and usually the other rat doesn't like it, so it's dominant behavior. And this is what Solana was attempting to do while she was also attempting to hump both of them. I tried introductions with Solana numerous times in the bathtub, numerous times in the cage, numerous times during free range time in the sunroom, and things would not work out. They didn't change aside from this viewing that you guys have in the bathtub. So I know I'm going to get a lot of comments on why I didn't keep trying. I didn't feel like I needed to keep trying. Both Ingrid, Solana, and Iona all ended up with bite wounds on one another, and I just felt like I didn't really need to force it if it wasn't going to work out. So it's definitely a good idea to adopt a rat from someone who's willing to take it back if it doesn't work out. Or if you're willing to keep another cage, then you can do that too, but I had somebody that was willing to take her back. So here's some of the injuries that the rats got from one another. This was an injury on Ingrid's belly that ended up healing pretty quickly. Another thing, if you do see blood on your rats, make sure you check their forearms area. A lot of times that's where they end up getting bit because they're trying to push the other rat away from one another. So I hope this video helped you guys. I wasn't trying to upset anybody by showing them fighting, but I did get a lot of questions about it since people were interested. So if you have more questions, just comment below, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching.